Welcome back, everyone, to Speak More Fluently.
Great to be here.
Today, we're doing a deep dive into something uh, really fascinating. It's the music behind English.
Ah, yes, word stress and sentence rhythm. The heartbeat of the language, you could say.
Exactly. And, understanding this, feeling this musicality, it's not just about sounding a bit more native.
No, it's much more fundamental. It's about clarity, about making sure people understand you easily.
And boosting your own confidence, too, right? Because when you feel you sound more natural, you speak more freely.
Absolutely. So even if your grammar is solid, your vocab is wide, this layer, this musical layer, is what takes your fluency up a notch.
So stick with us because we're going to break down these concepts, stress and rhythm, and give you some really practical ways to start using them, like right away.
Sounds good. It's funny, isn't it, how learners often nail complex grammar but still sound a bit off.
Yeah, a bit mechanical sometimes.
And often it boils down to this rhythmic element. They haven't quite tuned into the beat of English.
Which is different from many other languages. We talk about English being a stress-timed language.
Right. That's a key distinction. Compared to, say, syllable-timed languages, where each syllable gets roughly equal weight.
Like Spanish or French, maybe?
Often, yes. English works differently. We punch certain syllables harder, and certain words in a sentence get more emphasis. It creates this pulse.
And understanding that difference is like a potential light bulb moment for learners.
Definitely. Especially for intermediate speakers, because getting this right massively boosts your intelligibility for native listeners.
They kind of expect that rhythm. Their ears are tuned to it.
Precisely. They rely on those stress beats to pick out the important information. It's like signposting in your speech.
And it stops you sounding maybe a bit choppy.
Exactly. More natural flow. Less like you're, reading from a script, even when you're speaking spontaneously.
Plus, it helps listening too, doesn't it? You start hearing those stressed beats in other speech.
Oh, hugely. Your ear gets trained to catch the rhythm, latch onto those key stressed words, makes comprehension much easier.
Okay, so let's maybe zoom in on stress within individual words first. Word stress.
Sure. So most English words with more than one syllable have what we call primary stress. That's the syllable that gets the main emphasis. Nice and strong.
Like the loudest part of the word.
Sort of, yeah. Emphasis is a good word. But then some longer words might also have secondary stress.
Okay, what's that?
It's like a lighter emphasis. Still more prominent than unstressed syllables, but not as strong as the primary one.
And then the rest are unstressed. Weak sounds.
Exactly. Often reduced, maybe with that schwa sound, that re sound.
Let's take an example. How about photograph?
Good one. We say so photograph. Clear stress on foo.
Right, first syllable, but then photography.
Ah, see how it shifts. Fosens Raffi. Now the stress is on tog. That's second syllable.
Interesting. And maybe one more. Remarkable.
Remarkable. Again, second syllable mark gets the main hit.
So the stress can move around depending on the word form.
It can. And while there aren't, absolute unbreakable rules for everything,
Language always has exceptions.
always, but there are some really helpful patterns, rules of thumb, let's call them.
Okay, like what?
Well, for a lot of common two-syllable nouns and adjectives, the stress tends to fall on the first syllable.
Like table, happy, present, the noun.
Exactly. But then for many two-syllable verbs and prepositions, it often shifts to the second syllable.
Like decide, arrive, present, the verb between.
Precisely. So the word's job in the sentence, its grammar, can sometimes give you a clue.
That's useful. Are there clues in word endings too? Suffixes?
Yes, definitely. Some common patterns there. Words ending in like kenotion, tetranotion, often have the stress on the syllable right before that ending, the penultimate syllable.
So geographic.
Yeah, or extension.
Okay, got it.
And then there's another group of endings like pendesi, pentesi, tenditselate. For those, the stress often jumps back another syllable to the one before the second to last, antepenultimate.
Whoa, okay. Examples.
Think of democracy. Or photography, actually. Critical technology.
Right. Stress in the third to last syllable there.
Usually, yeah. Again, remember, these are tendencies, not laws, but they give you a really good starting point with new words.
So for listeners wanting to work on this, what are some practical steps? How do you practice word stress?
Good question. One really simple but effective habit is When you learn a new word, actively mark the stress.
Like in your vocabulary notebook, just put a little mark.
Yeah, maybe a dot above the vowel, or underline the syllable, or put that little vertical line before it, like in dictionaries, whatever works for you.
Makes sense. Become conscious of it.
And use online dictionaries. They almost all have audio now. Listen actively. Where's the punch? Then try saying it yourself.
Mimics the sound.
Exactly. Which leads nicely into shadowing.
Ah, yeah, shadowing. Explain that quickly.
It's basically listening to a native speaker and trying to speak along with them in real time, copying their pronunciation, rhythm, and stress as closely as possible.
Feels a bit weird at first, maybe.
It can, but it's super powerful for internalizing the sounds and rhythms. You're focusing purely on the sound, not on constructing sentences yourself.
Okay, so that covers stress inside words. But words don't live alone, right? They live in sentences.
Yeah.
How does rhythm work there?
Right. Sentence rhythm. This builds on word stress. In a sentence, not all words get equal emphasis.
Some stand out more.
Exactly. The words carrying the main, meaning what we call content words, usually get the stress.
So nouns, main verbs, adjectives, adverbs.
The meaty words.
The meaty words, a good way to put it. And then the other words, the function words.
Articles like a, the prepositions to, at, is the auxiliary verbs, is, are, was, conjunctions, and, but, the grammatical glue.
Perfect analogy. Those tend to be unstressed or only very weakly stressed, said much faster, often reduced. Let's use that example sentence. I went to the market to buy some fresh fruit. Where's the stress?
You'd naturally hear the strong beats on went, market, buy, fresh fruit.
I went to the market to buy some fresh fruit.
Yeah, I hear it. And the little words I to the to some, they're quick and light in between those main beats.
So that's the stress-timed thing in action. The main beats fall at roughly regular intervals.
That's the idea, like tapping your foot to a steady rhythm. The stressed syllables land on the beat.
And the unstressed syllables get squashed or rushed to fit in the time between the beats.
Exactly, they accommodate the rhythm. It's not about giving every syllable equal time.
It's like the stressed words are the pillars, and the function words are the quick connections between them.
Nicely put. And this relates to chunking, too. How we group words together naturally when we speak.
You mean we don't just speak word by word?
Haha, no. We group words into meaningful phrases, like the new research study shows a significant increase. There's often a tiny pause or slight pitch change between those chunks.
The new research study, pause, shows a significant increase.
Yeah. And those little pauses, they help the rhythm, help the listener process, makes it all flow better.
Okay, so we have stress words, sentence rhythm, chunking. What else contributes to that really natural, fluent sound?
Well, the next big piece is connected speech, how words kind of melt together.
Not speaking like robots with gaps between words.
Precisely. Native speakers link words constantly. One common way is consonant to vowel linking.
Example.
Think of pickup. We don't say pick up, it sounds like pike up. The K sound at the end of pick links smoothly to the vowel sound at the start of up.
Pike up. Got it. What about vowel to vowel? Like go on.
Good one. Sometimes, to make that smooth, a tiny connecting sound sneaks in, like a little W or J sound. So go on often sounds more like go on.
Go one. Subtle, but yeah.
Then there are reductions, big ones, especially in faster, more casual speech.
This is the wanna and gonna stuff.
That's exactly it. Want to becomes wanna. Going to becomes gonna. I will becomes I'll just a ball.
Super common.
And remember, those function words we said were usually unstressed.
The grammatical glue words.
Yeah. They often have weak forms. Their vowel sounds get reduced, often to that lazy schwa sound.
So and isn't always and.
Rarely in fluent speech. It's usually rand or even just jan, like rock rain or all.
Okay. And to.
Often becomes to. I went to the market.
And oh.
Can be or just cup tea.
Wow. So learning these weak forms and reductions is pretty important for sounding natural.
Crucial. And also for understanding native speakers because they use them all the time.
So how do you learn these? Just listen a lot.
Active listening is key. Pay attention to how words flow together in podcasts, TV shows, real conversations.
Yeah.
Don't just listen for meaning, listen for the sound. How are they connecting things? Are they reducing words?
And then try it yourself.
Yes. Mimicry is powerful. Try saying phrases the way you hear them, even if it feels a bit strange at first.
Okay, so bringing this all together, if someone listening wants a plan, a way to practice all this systematically, what would you suggest?
Well, maybe a step-by-step approach. First, find a short text. Could be anything. Couple of sentences from the news, a bit of dialogue.
Okay, got my text. And
Read it through and mark it up. Underline the content words you think will be stressed. Maybe mark the main stress in those words.
get conscious about where the beats should fall.
Exactly. Then read it aloud slowly and try tapping. Tap your finger or your foot on those stressed syllables. Feel the rhythm.
Tap, tap, tap on the main beats.
While you're doing that, look for opportunities for linking. Where does a consonant end a word and a vowel start the next? Where might reductions happen? Maybe make little notes.
Like writing wanna instead of want to, just to remind yourself.
Good too, yeah. Or draw a little curve linking words. Then find audio of a native speaker saying that text, if possible, or just any relevant audio clip.
And listen.
Listen carefully, then shadow it. Speak along with the recording. Try to match their rhythm, their stress, their linking, their intonation.
Do it multiple times. Maybe slow it down first.
You could, yeah. Normal speed, maybe faster eventually. The key is repetition and really listening to how you sound compared to the model.
Which leads to the final step, maybe. Recording yourself.
Absolutely invaluable. Record yourself reading the text. Then listen back critically. Compare it to the native speaker audio. Where are the differences? Are you stressing the right words? Is your rhythm okay? Are you linking?
Your own coach.
Exactly. It's about noticing the gaps and then adjusting. It takes practice, of course.
And to help with that practice, you mentioned a checklist and a plan.
Yeah, just some simple tools to encourage consistency. A checklist to remind you, did I mark stress today? Did I do some rhythm reading? Did I practice shadowing? Did I listen for linking reductions?
Keeps you accountable.
And a suggested weekly plan, just as an idea, like maybe Monday and Wednesday, spend 15 minutes on vocabulary stress and rhythm reading.
Okay.
Friday, maybe 20 minutes for shadowing and recording yourself. And maybe over the weekend, 15 minutes just focused listening, trying to spot those weak forms and reductions in action, and maybe practice saying them.
Little and often.
That's usually the best way. Consistency builds the habits and trains your ear and mouth.
It really feels like this musical side of English is, well, maybe not secret, but definitely underexplored by many learners.
I think so. Getting a handle on word stress, sentence rhythm, and connected speech, it's just so fundamental for sounding clearer, more natural, more fluent.
It's the difference between just knowing the words and actually speaking the language in a way that flows.
Couldn't agree more. So the encouragement for everyone listening is start playing with this. Don't be afraid.
Yeah, experiment. Pick one thing. Maybe just focus on stressing content words this week. Or listen for wanna and gonna.
Small steps. Notice things. Try things out.
So maybe a final thought to leave people with. As you start paying more attention to this musicality, this rhythm and stress, think about how it might change not just your speaking, but your listening to.
Ooh, interesting angle.
Like, what subtle things might you start noticing in conversations now? How native speakers use rhythm or intonation to convey attitude or meaning beyond just the words themselves.
That's a great point. It opens up a deeper layer of understanding the language, doesn't it? It's not just about sounding good. It's about appreciating the nuances of communication.
Exactly, a whole new dimension to explore. Well, hopefully this deep dive has given everyone some solid starting points. Thanks for joining us on Speak More Fluently.
My pleasure. Keep practicing that rhythm.